Well, Betty, I know that the year 1954 was a big pivotal year for you and others around you in many ways. I'm just wondering, could you describe for us how your life was going to change in regards to your relationship with Tom Gracie, but also in your deeper relationship with God?
Well, the teacher in the room next to me had been after me to go to this weekend out at a camp. It was for InterVarsity students, and I had said no all along. But that weekend when I went home, I thought, well, why not? I've got nothing done all weekend. If I can do that, I'll maybe give it a try. So that's where I ended up, with my parents driving me and my two sisters out to this spot on Stony Lake. And they were asked to stay, and it was a lovely time. Bill Ray was the speaker, and on the way out of the dining room, although I'd never really known him before, he said, "And Betty, how long have you been a Christian?" And I opened my mouth, and then I thought, nothing came out. I thought that felt kind of dumb, so I tried again. He says, "Well, okay, we'll see you at the talk after around 8 o'clock. So when I walked in there were 3 big circles on this flip chart. The huge outside one was body. I thought, I'm alive in body. And the next one was mind, and I thought, well, I hope I'm alive in mind. But the middle one was all smudgy, and I thought, I wonder what that is. And I went over, and underneath through the smudge was spirit. And I thought, I don't think I may be very alive there, or I mustn't be, or I'd have a clear picture. So after it was all finished, I really can't remember what he said. We were asked to go upstairs at bedtime and have a prayer with God before we went to sleep, which I did. It was a good hour or more, but it was a real wrestling time.
Like Jacob.
Yes, very much. And finally, the spirit seemed to move. I mean, I wouldn't have known where to go, still didn't, felt muddled, but nonetheless, that this was something I had to pursue. So.
Now this also leaks over into Tom.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
It came very severely in some ways. I had to meet Tom on Monday and tell him that if he wasn't in this, then we couldn't be married.
In this?
In this change that had gone on in my life.
Okay.
It wasn't that I felt mean or anything. Well, I did and I didn't. It's just that's the way it had to be. So he agreed to go up to Lindsay and hear. The same man was speaking Wednesday in Lindsay, so we went up there. Had a good old talk with him. Said, what did he say that was different? And anyway, out in the parking lot, they went round and round in a little circle. Tom, has Jesus come into your heart yet? And Tom said, I haven't a clue. And Bill said, well, do you believe in God? Yes. Have you asked? Yes, I've asked to have my sins forgiven. Did you ask Jesus into your heart? I guess so. Is he there? How would I know? And they went around that little circle about 10 times. And finally I said, oh, I'm sorry. I got to go home. I got to teach in the morning. So Bill said, well, Tom, if you've done all this, that's it. It's there. You don't always get feelings. So that's what we went home with. And that's the way it was. Tom just had that different way after my big experience with lights and all.
And on July 10th.
Yes, we were married.
Thank you.
You're sorry about that.
Thank you, Betty.